If your identity was a list of songs, what songs would you choose? When you were young, maybe you viewed yourself as a future doctor or teacher. You might have made friends with people who enjoyed playing the same games or supported the same sports teams as you. Maybe you introduced yourself by your favorite color or through your connection with a mutual friend. Associations with our environment and the people within it is important towards understanding how we view ourselves and to see how we want to portray ourselves to people. But how do our experiences actually make us different? According to Google, identity is defined as the condition of being oneself and not another. But what really makes us unique or gives us a sense of self? As an Asian American high school student, I feel like it's easy getting caught up in becoming who someone else expects me to be, or feeling lost or the complete freedom to choose whichever path lies ahead. But what if identity could be examined from a different perspective? Even if you aren't the most avid listener of that one artist or self-proclaimed curator of indie or underground music, it's hard to deny music's impact on shaping how we understand ourselves, both in the past and in the present. Throughout history, songs have become powerful tools for social change, anthems for movements, trend starters, and ultimately a medium to communicate complex ideas about identity and struggle. Today, I'll be taking a closer look at the rise of Asian American music and how the clash of cultures influenced the formation of a new identity within the US. The formation of a distinctly Asian American identity first began with the introduction of Asian identity and culture to the US, seen in the song Yui o Tsui Haruko, otherwise known as sukiyaki. The song was composed and sung by Sakamoto in June of 1963 in response to the tensions between Japan and the US, even after the destruction caused by World War II. The song eventually made its way from Japan to American charts, reaching the US Billboard at number 1 for 3 consecutive weeks. In the beginning, Sakamoto sings, "I look up as I walk so that the tears won't fall," creating a quiet sense of hope amidst the chaos present in his life. To showcase this battle of calamity and order, Sakamoto continually repeats the phrase, "a night all alone," as the seasons in the song progresses, showcasing how he truly feels while explaining his actions moving forward. Another interesting detail is that the first and second choruses within the song juxtapose each other, further establishing the devastating yet hopeful mood of the song. The first expresses his happiness while the second is sadness. Despite cultural barriers, this message was not lost in translation. Americans were also beginning to at least somewhat recognize this formation of new identity, seen when the popular disco group Taste of Honey released a cover of the song in their 1980 album Twice as Sweet, which also reached number 1 on the Billboard R&B chart. Outside of the Japanese, Sakamoto's mournful single laid the foundation for Asian Americans to use issues of civil rights and inequality to build identity, seen in the Asian American movement of the 1970s. Veering out of the wake of the civil rights movement of the 1960s, the Asian American movement similarly used cultural elements such as music to express political ideas while also attempting to connect distinct ethnic groups. For instance, take the song "We Are the Children" on the album A Grain of Sand. Written in 1973, it was considered by many to be the first album of Asian American music. In the introduction, the group sings, "We are the children of the migrant worker. We are the offspring of the concentration camp, sons and daughters of the railroad builder, who leave their stamp on America." The authors use repetition, including emphasis on the word "we," to establish the idea that these various immigrant cultures all have a shared experience as a minority looking for an opportunity to leave a stamp, while also acknowledging the different challenges each nationality has faced in the past and in the present. In verse 2, the song mentions both the Chinese and Japanese, whose distinct identities clashed throughout history, demonstrated in the Sino-Japanese Wars only a few decades preceding World War II. Similarly, the Chinese and Japanese were also both victims of nativism, seen in the Japanese internment camps of World War II and violence against the Chinese throughout the 19th century. Despite being culturally important towards unifying distinct ethnicities under a common cause, and leading American society to accept a new Asian American identity, the Asian American movement would not be enough to result in changes in popular music. Instead, Asian Americans would continue to use popular influences and new technologies moving into the 21st century. With the introduction of the 21st century, Asian American artists have begun to grow exponentially. New technology and access to social media have allowed artists to experiment with new sounds, techniques, and production styles unique to Asian American artists and their experiences. Instead of only forming identity based on their environment, Asian American artists can choose to tell their own personal stories. For example, take the artist Joji. Primarily using YouTube as a medium for his art, Joji created characters of himself such as Filthy Frank to cultivate a dedicated fandom and to start viral memes such as the Harlem Shake, both of which would contribute towards his music career. Joji introduced a unique style of lo-fi infused R&B that proved immediately successful, with his album Ballads 1 debuting number 1 on Billboard's top R&B/hip-hop albums chart and number 3 on the Billboard 200 in October of 2018, with his song Slow Dancing in the Dark reaching a total of over 1 billion streams on Spotify alone as of this date. Another one of his songs, Glimpse of Us, also shared similar success, becoming his first single to crack the top 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Glimpse of Us holds a special place in my own life, as it was one of the first songs that refueled my interest in exploring new music. During a late-night karaoke session with friends back in 2022, Joji's lonesome voice joined together with my own life and brought back a respect for understanding music beyond noise. Going back to the original question of choosing songs for identity, I've learned that it's impossible to categorize something that's constantly changing, but it's also important to remember the past that got us here. Inspired by Asian American culture of the 1980s, the song Every Summertime by NIKI showcases the growth of individuals through a nostalgic lens. The themes present within the song reflect modern romance between two college students, allowing it to become relatable towards people outside of Asian American culture as well. NIKI sings, 18 we were undergrads, stayed out late, never made it to class, highlighting changes within Asian American identity caused by increased opportunity within education, away from just the struggle for recognition in the 1970s. Beyond its overall simplicity and nostalgic feel, Every Summertime is also accompanied by 4 different music videos, which all highlight different aspects of Asian American culture. The first showcases a father and son driving around a neighborhood in California. The second, NIKI walking through 99 Ranch Market. The third, a story about her musical career, and lastly, as the main song for a short love story. Although Asian Americans may have begun moving away from the hardships that characterize their identity by becoming citizens, the 21st century is bright with new opportunities to establish their dominance on the biggest stage, complete with artistic liberty and an ever-expanding audience. I hope you enjoyed this video, and special shout out to Andrew Wang, who's this month's #1 Keshi supporter. This has been Joshua, and now for the next track.